Good afternoon from London. It's just gone 4 p.m. and it's a lovely sunny day in London. Right, if you saw my last video on my BSR 8-track player, even though it doesn't say BSR, it is a BSR, rest assured. I just want to show you how they work inside. I mean, what they look like inside and how they work. Just a brief explanation, really. I spent a couple of hours last night because when I bought this 8-track, it's one of my favourites. I bought this, oh God almighty, I bought this how many years ago was that? This came out in 75, and I think I bought it second hand a few years after that. I think it was maybe 1980 or something like that. Can't remember now. I bought it in the market stall. It's a long time ago now. But how they're made, I mean, this is one of my favourite ones, Mike Oldfield Ommadawn, and unfortunately you have to make a few holes through the paper, for the actual label, and there's a label on both sides, and that to make my Lexus come on there. What the hell is wrong with that thing? So anyhow, it's a bit of a job to actually open it. There's 4 or 5, I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little plastic lugs you have to lever aside, and sometimes they're hidden through the actual paper, through the actual label. So if you're having trouble opening one of these, do not force it. Whatever you do, you need to find the other hole. Just press your finger around where you see a slight indentation, and you'll find a hole, and underneath that, unfortunately, you've got to poke a screwdriver through it and move the lug forward. The only other way, you could try to steam off the label, but I wouldn't go through all that. I'd rather you just make 4 holes in the actual label itself. And sorry, I got a bit of a sore throat today. Need a drink. Just made myself a tea actually. I'm gonna have that in a minute. So anyway, 8 tracks. Okay, as the term suggests, they have 8 tracks, 2 for each channel, left and right. Obviously the stereo. So you actually got 4 tracks. Now, these are continuous tapes. So in other words, if you leave an 8-track in an 8-track player such as that one, it will play continuously and it will never stop until power is disconnected. Right, obviously. Now, at the end of a track or one side, obviously there's a splice where the tapes are joined. Obviously they're continuous tapes, so they've got to be joined somewhere in the manufacturing process. And there's a splicing joint, and also there's one of these. This is a magnetic strip. It's a foil strip, and it's magnetic. Well, it makes contact. So there's 2 contacts inside the 8-track player, and when it hits that little foil strip, it makes contact with a circuit that actually changes the track to track 2, etc, etc, track 3, 4, and then back to 1 again. Now, last night I put the tape in the machine. It played fine until it hit the actual leader tape. Not the leader tape, sorry, the join, the splicing join at the front. Well, it's not at the front. Well, it's at the front now because I've actually moved it to the front. So I've ordered some of these little foil strips. So I'm waiting for them to arrive, and I'm just going to put a fresh tab on. Fresh little foil tab, and it's right there at the front. So I've literally got pull out a loop of tape, put it against something firm or a splicing block, apply the actual foil strip, and wind it back in. You've got to be careful when you wind these things back in. It's best to actually pull the tape from the center outwards. I know it sounds weird, but you pull the center of the tape outwards, and as you turn the reel, and you mustn't make it too tight. There's got to be some slack. I mean, that seems to be quite sufficient. If you make it too tight, it will not turn. So there we go. So now, in fact, what I need to do, I need to go down and buy some weatherproofing strip, because you can use weatherproofing strip to replace the worn out foam pad inside. Because on both sides they're both slippery. It's got a shiny surface on the inside and a shiny surface on the outside. So don't think you can just put a bit of foam there and let the tape rub on the foam, because it will stick and it will not turn. So it's got to be, you've got to have a shiny side on the outside, and I found that weatherproofing strip seems to work. So it's a trip down to B&Q for me. Or in America, what do you call those places? Oh, the equivalent of a B&Q, I can't remember now. It's completely slipped my mind. So anyway, that's what an 8-track looks like. So if you've never seen one before on the inside, there we go. There we go. So what happens is when you put it in the machine, the tape turns clockwise, and I'm not going to turn it now because I've got it in the right position where I want it. The tape unwinds from the center, goes around and goes onto the outer reel, and so forth. It just carries on and carries on. But it didn't carry on last night because the splice, obviously after so many years, the glue becomes ineffective and it literally just stopped playing. I thought, oh, stop playing. And I thought, I wonder what's happened. And I thought, I know. Well, it's either the 8-track's gone wrong or the splicing tape has failed, and I was right on the latter. So there we go. So I managed to join it up again, and there's the foil, and I managed to put a bit of glue. I used a bit of cheap glue from one of these dollar stores, Poundlands, you know, ordinary gum. And I thought, oh, I'll leave it for a while, leave it overnight. Tried it this morning and it would not change channels. And I thought, right, okay. So I took the tape out, tipped it upside down, and the foil fell out. So it didn't hold. Stupid cheap glue. Oh, well, you get what you pay for. There we go. You buy cheap, you get cheap. So now I've ordered some replacement foil strips, and obviously they've got brand new adhesive on it. So as I said, all I have to do when I get it is pull the tape out, make a big loop, put it on a block, or you can even do it on I can even do it on the top of this amplifier, it doesn't matter. And just line it up nice and straight, press it firmly, and off you go. Put the cover back on again, and then it should work fine. As I said, this was working fine, but it just doesn't change track. You need that little foil strip there for the sensor inside. There's two little prongs. It's like a prong. Imagine a fork with two prongs on it. And it makes contact with the foil strip, and it activates the change circuit. Change channel, rather. So there we go. I've got this, still got this Simon and Garfunkel one here. That seems to be alright, the foil strip on that. Oh, actually, no, I put a replacement on them, didn't I? I found a bit of foil that was stuck to a box of an tape editing kit, and I peeled it off, which I shouldn't have done, and attached it onto it. But this is easy to open. I managed to just sellotape it together, because opening this case, I literally broke all the tabs, which was very bad practice. Mind you, when I received this, it was actually smashed to smithereens. I don't know if you can see all those joins, but obviously somebody who sent them to me on eBay, and he packed them really badly. Insufficient packaging again, and there was bits galore of the actual. I mean, look at that. That's all the bits I glued together, believe it or not. And the side of it as well, it was smashed to smithereens. But I thought, no, I'm not going to throw it away. I'm going to salvage it. And the big chunk was missing there, and I managed to use we call it polystyrene glue, the sort of glue you use to stick aeroplanes together. You know, when you're a kid, you got these model aeroplanes. I used to make them all the time when I was a kid. That's the sort of glue you need for fixing 8-tracks, by the way. So you need polystyrene cement if you ever end up in this sort of situation. So there we go. Yeah, this was literally in pieces, and it still works. I can't believe it. It still works. So if this one failed, I'll just put a new strip on, and a new foil strip on this one as well. This is a piece of cake to do anyway, because all the lugs are broke. Damn, silly me. So there we go. I hope you found this interesting, and yeah, don't worry, Mike, you will be playing again. Don't worry. One of my favourite musicians of all time, Mike Oldfield. Don't he look cool there, eh? With that moustache and the long hair and that. Cool. I think he lives in Bermuda, actually. I think I've spoken to his sister, Sally, a few times. She's very nice indeed. Sally Oldfield. She came out with a song in the 80s called Mirrors. La 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 la. You must remember that one. If you're my age, you should remember that one. Oh, sorry, I can't talk today. Yeah. Yeah, that's some bit of bad news again. A family friend has passed away again. Somebody else. I don't know. This year has been absolute crap from the very beginning, from January the 1st. It's been awful. So another very good friend of the family has passed away. I just can't believe it. It's unbelievable. I don't know. Anyway, better not talk about that. I was talking about 8-tracks. So anyway, there we go. So I'll tell you another thing you should do if you open 8-tracks. See the rubber roller? It literally just pulls off. You just literally lift it. I don't want to touch it now because I don't want to upset things, but you just grab it and it pulls up. And I would advise you to use some isopropyl alcohol. Just give it a clean with alcohol. You don't need too much. Just get a tissue, apply a bit of isopropyl alcohol. I think you call it rubbing alcohol in the States. And just give it a wipe over. Don't go too mad. Just give it a quick wipe over. And that one had a load of shit on it. And the rubber roller was actually shiny. But I can't lift it now. What a shame. I don't want to mess about with the tape positioning. But yeah, so I cleaned it up because it was sluggish, a little bit sluggish when I first played it, and now it plays beautifully. So I would advise you to clean that and also buy some weatherproofing strip and change that as well. So I think what I might do, get some weatherproofing strip and change the felt foam pad because I don't really want to open it again. Pain in the arse to open, they really are. So anyway, hope you found this a little instructional useful. And I don't know, can I call this how to open an 8-track? I might do. I might call it how to open, or how. What can I call this? What can I call this title of this video now? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. I didn't really show you how to open it. I explained how to open it. So I suppose I could call it a how to open or inside. I might call it inside an 8-track cartridge. Yeah, why not? So there we go. That's how they work. It's a continuous loop of tape that goes round and round and round, and the channels are selected. So when it reaches an end of a track, it hits the contacts inside. The sensor hits the foil strip, changes channel to channel 2. Then when it reaches the end of the loop again, it hits the foil again and changes channel to track 3. And so forth to track 4. So that's how they work. But I think a majority of these you buy on eBay, they're all very, very old, from the 70s, obviously, because I think that's the last time they actually made 8-tracks, or was it the early 80s? I think probably around the early 80s. And, you know, as I said, after a while, the actual splice, the adhesive becomes crap, just turns, just goes dry, whatever, and so it dries up, and then you encounter this sort of problem where you play the tape and then it hits the foil bit, and as it unwinds from the middle, there's a little bit more resistance there, so it just comes adrift. There we go. But I know how to fix these things, and I hope you will too, if you ever have the bug in buying an 8-track player and fixing a few tapes up. So literally what you do, you've got 5 tabs. I think there's one, let's see, one up there, 2, 1 in the middle, 3, 4, 5 on this one. And you get a small screwdriver, flat bladed screwdriver. You put it on the edge of the lug and you push it outwards. When I first tried it on that one, on the Simon & Garfunkel, I pressed it the wrong way and I broke all the tabs. Oh, never mind. It's no big deal, because once I actually fix it up, put a new foil strip on it, I'm going to just put a tiny little bit of polystyrene cement on the corners just to hold it shut. And if I ever need to open it again, just get a sharp safety razor and just cut through it. Piece of cake. There we go. 8-track cartridge, and it's one of my favourites is Mike Oldfield, On the Dawn. Fantastic. The actual album he made prior to this was, of course, do you know anyone? Come on, it's easy. Tubular Bells? Yeah. Classic album of all time, which made what's his name? Oh God, my memory's gone today. What's his name? Richard Branson. Oh God, my memory's getting worse. Which actually made Richard Branson a multi-millionaire. There we go. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to leave this open then until I receive the actual new foil strips. Then I'll put it back together again and enjoy my Goldfield. So, but I must. Oh, sorry, dog's next door barking now. Oh my God, terrible. Yeah. So look at that. Nice. That's the sort of. That's how it should be. It mustn't be tight. It's got to be that sort of movement when you put it back together. And you wind it in again. Can you see that? Yeah, it must not be tight because it will not turn. Right. Okay, so there we go. Hope I can't. Sorry, I can't talk today. What's the matter with me? Anything else to say about 8-tracks? If you need to ask anything, just put it down in the comment section. And if you like this video, and there's plenty more coming, a hell of a lot more, just please sub me up and click on the notification bell. Okay, so there we go. Oh, damn dog barking next door now. Can't believe this. Right, okay, so I hope you enjoyed this, and bye for now. Hope I can get my words out easier next time. I'm probably a bit too tired actually. As I said, I didn't go to sleep until about 3:30 in the morning, so I'm a little bit knackered. Right, okay, bye for now.